In this video, I'm going to continue with teaching about gradebook setup. And we have, from the last one, all of these assignments and quizzes and so forth in here, but they're not in any particular order. I showed you how to move them. But they're also, like I said, in just one category. And what you'll notice here, based on the maximum grade, Moodle has automatically assigned a certain weight. They have a total number of 560 points at this point. If I added more, another 100-point form, it would be worth 660 points. So it just takes this total and divides them, and then this is the percentage that it's worth of the overall grade. What we're going to do now is add some categories in here. Now as I look at it, I have three kinds of things. I have assignments, I have quizzes, and I have forums. So I'm going to add three categories. Down at the bottom, I click Add a Category. And then it allows me to give it a category name. I'm going to make this one quizzes. I'm going to leave the aggregation as natural. Exclude empty grades. I'll talk about that later. And then I'm just going to leave the other things as they are. Now one thing that you notice here is the grade display type. It defaults to real. That means how many points it's worth. It gives you the option of choosing either real, which is points, letter, which is ABC, or percentage, which obviously is percentage. You can do any one or two of those three things. I kind of like to have the percentage and the letter. That's just a personal preference. That way the student sees they got an 80% and a B. You can put that however you'd like. And then I'm going to save changes on this. And what you'll see is down here at the bottom, I have a new category for quizzes. And it's worth 0% of the overall grade because there's nothing in it right now. So what I'm going to do is move my quizzes, my 4 quizzes, into that category. I do that by going over here and clicking next to quiz 1, next to quiz 2, 3, and 4. So I've selected the quizzes, and then move these selected items to quizzes. And you don't have to hit Save Changes. It goes through and it does it itself. You see it recalculated everything. So now, quizzes are worth 7% of the overall grade. This category is. Each of the 4 quizzes is worth 25% of the quizzes. If I put in a 5th quiz, they would change so they're each worth 20% of this overall category, as long as all these points are the same. And so that's where these come into play. I'm going to pause the tape, and then I'm going to just create the other categories and show you what everything looks like when I'm done. Okay, now I'm back. I have the main category for the course. I have the category for quizzes, for assignments, and for forums, and I have everything underneath it. Now let's say I really want the students to see the assignments first, then their forums, and then the quiz grades. That's just the way I'd like to have it done. Well, just like I moved individual things, I can move total categories. So I'm going to click on this one to move the quizzes category down underneath forums. And you want to notice these are indented. If I put it here, it would actually be in the forums category underneath forum 3. I want to have it out as a main forum, so I'm going to move it to there. So now I have assignments, forums, and quizzes. And then when the student looks at it, let's go back to View and User View. I'm going to choose my user again. In his gradebook, now he sees it set up this way. So when he opens it up, he sees all the assignments and his grade for it. He'll see all the forums and all the quizzes and so forth, and then his total grade. So this makes it a little bit more straightforward for them. I'm going to go back to Setup. And what you'll notice in here, assignment 1 is only worth 10 points, and the other 3 are worth 100. Now maybe that's a mistake on my part and I need to check it, or maybe it just isn't as hard to do. But because of that, assignment 1 is only worth 3% of this category, not the whole grade, but of this category. So these will add up to 100%. These will add up to 100%, but these category totals of 55.357, 37.5, and 7.134, they all add up to 100% for the course. In this, maybe I decided, even though quizzes are only worth 10% of the grade, I want quizzes, my syllabus has quizzes as worth 20% of the overall grade. So I'm going to change this. And I'm going to make this worth 20. And my forums are worth 10% of the overall grade. So that's 30%. So my assignments then, I'm going to make those worth 70% of the overall grade. Now you can do that however you want, but one benefit of doing it this way is as you continue to add assignments, as you continue to add forums, this general percentage of the overall grade stays the same, and you don't have to try and add points up to get it that way. Once I do that, if I do save changes, you'll notice that it's going to recalculate the scores, and now that's what my grades are worth. I still have the 560 points overall, but it's going to calculate that quizzes are worth 20% of the overall grade. So that's a way that Moodle will help work with you in that. So that's what the weights mean, and that's what the maximum grade, that's just the points that they're worth mean. Again, this is a little bit more difficult area working with your gradebook and getting it set up, but just one other thing you want to do is make sure as you add items, they may add down here and not be in a category. So check it after you work in the gradebook just to make sure you don't have anything dangling down here that needs to go up into one of your categories. If you have questions with this or anything else, please fill out a help desk ticket. We'd be glad to work with you on it. Have a good day.